Mousesports, really. Like, Nuke and Mirage are a given for them at the moment. I feel like in any best of 3, especially on Mirage, but probably on Nuke as well, that's their map. But it's after that. Okay, Overpass, don't give them much of a chance there. We'll have to see what they prepared. But maps like Train, Inferno, Cobble, those are the maps where Mousesports is going to have to play them in best of 3s, and sometimes they look really shaky, especially on a map like Cobblestone. Train and Inferno are neck and neck, maybe Train edging out, being the slightly better map. So this is where, when you look at the maps, if you don't see some great underperformance, Mousesports should take this serious.
What an experience this has been for Rops. I'm just looking at both his name and the HLTV ranking, and I'm realizing that it was pretty much last year, the start of last year, this kid was, you know, shoved into a jersey, finally convinced his parents that he could make money playing video games, and now he's in second, if not the best team currently competing.
And I remember back when there were European pros that basically accused him of cheating, right?
That's right, yeah.
It was so crazy, just this young kid coming up.
Like with every up-and-coming player, he actually had to go to Faceit offices and play FPL from there so that people actually believe that he's legit.
Oh, I love it. And there he is on your screens. Indeed, his last name is cool because he is ice cold in that server. Chris J, we've learned a lot more about him this evening. It's not even the evening, Alex. You may have just woken up. But Chris J does, of course, come up on your screens. And isn't it? He's a really interesting character. The fact that he's transitioned from being the flashy, cocky scout player that he once was, because he was. I mean, we had conversations about...
You saw it in the highlights.
Yeah, the filth he was getting up to, just playing the game, having fun and giggles. Suddenly, I guess it's like bad comparison, but when someone has a child and then they kind of become... this, that you automatically seem to become a bit more fatherly, a bit more like now suddenly he has the responsibility of 4 players and his success in Counter-Strike is now on his shoulders and things have changed.
Yeah, definitely matured tremendously as a player and as a person. Really, you know from the early days, you know, he had a bit of a temper, really, you know, could flare at times, and even in game you could see it impact his performance, you know. And now he's turned into this guy. Yes, he's still emotional, but he's learned how to control it for the better part. And when you look at some of the close games that Mousesports has, when the team starts mounting a comeback against them, it's when Chris J actually turns into this mode. I have to take matters into my own hands to an extent, and he's the one making the ballsy plays and basically leading the team by example, which is great to see.
And an example of what Rez was capable of was where we saw them get the first notch in their Intel Grand Slam. He's on your screens now. Rez put on a show-stopping performance over in Oakland, which brought them their big offline title and that trophy lift that they're looking to replicate here in Marseille. These young up-and-comers, I guess it's a recurring theme now, Sean. These new names are coming up, and they're playing with the big dogs.
Yeah,
He has a bandana.
They look kind of crazy, yes. But yeah, they struggle to find consistency though, and that's where I think NiP's biggest problem is once they get that consistency level, mainly between, like you said, Rez and Draken, they will flourish to the top of the scene, because right now they show peaks of brilliance.
And for Rez especially, have someone like Dennis on your screen who is the, you know, the pistol master and obviously has great aim. To say Rez has the best aim I've ever seen is like making quite a statement in that regard. So obviously these guys have skills. I like how we've been talking about NiP and not even mentioning Forest or GetRight.
Yeah.
Obviously the 2 legends of the game, and even during NiP's slump, where GetRight had probably the biggest slump of his career, Forest was the constant, right? He was always delivering, and he's been a bit quiet in this newer team, whether it's because of adjusting or, you know, some of the younger guys, they actually are willing to give them a bit more space now. You do really wonder if they also come back in a sense, not to their glory days, but just to the levels where they have really good rounds every now and then. NiP is really scary on paper.
Yeah, and before we get our own predictions going, you guys can do so in the chat. Just go ahead and let us know who you think is going to take this one, because while we're on the topic of GetRight and Forest, I actually have a bit of a problem with GetRight. Like, I get a little miffed, a little upset, because I've heard him now on more than one occasion in interviews or passing him in a hallway where he says, yeah, my glory days are over, or like, that's not my role anymore, that's someone else's job now, and all this kind of basically all of this dialogue that suggests that he's not trying to be the star anymore. And as a player who you've seen what he's capable of, it just irritates me because I know that's not an attitude that's gonna get you anywhere. I don't know. It doesn't seem connected to success for me.
I think it's more a matter of him being realistic, right? When he was really great, everyone else wasn't nearly as good as they are now, and his role was based off of outsmarting people and, you know, the lurking style and always being in a different place. And people back then weren't as disciplined in their rotations, movements a little bit. You see how now players are jiggle peeking everything, so much more patience in play, right? It's much more difficult to be effective that much in a way he was from that role. And he's realized that he's also reinvented himself to an extent. You see in some of the set strats, GeT_RiGhT is the entry fragger. He's the first guy going in, going through smokes and everything, and he's actually been doing a pretty good job at that.
I'm looking forward to this one, and I need to know predictions. We have got the vetoes. Admittedly, we haven't talked too much about the individual maps, so it's my apologies. We got sidetracked in storyline there, but Sean, do hit me with your expectations.
Well, I messed up on the whole Cloud9 series because I thought that
Feeling
they would take
proud about
Overpass.
that one?
Yeah, I messed up there. I think Mousesports has a free win on Nuke right now, and having that be the first map, I can't go against them. I don't know why I did that against Cloud9. I'm taking Mousesports.
Getting that first map momentum, we saw just how powerful it was for the North Americans.
Yeah, I think Mousesports are one of my favorites to win the whole thing, right? And yes, yesterday was sketchy and just a best of one and still getting into the swing of things. But I think this is going to be a great game for both teams to really keep proving themselves. But I'm going to edge towards Mousesports because of what I've seen from them. They have great game plans and they've become better and better at executing them, even when things don't go exactly according to plan. So Mousesports for me.
And I would join you as well. I think Mousesports will take this one. And let's not forget, those are just, of course, our predictions. We did get to see NiP or Mouse than I would against SK. Yeah, definitely. When that is on the line. We're bringing casters into the conversation just to go ahead and start this one off. Look at you, boy. You looking hyped, Anders?
Yeah.
You bobbing and weaving?
Good. Yeah.
Okay.
You're ready, Moses. You ready? It's gonna get on. It's gonna be a good game. It's gonna be great. And we're playing Nuke as well.
Yeah, we're also playing Nuke. Everyone's excited. Everyone's hyped up. We got to see Sean just prostrate himself in front of the Cloud9 gods and ask for forgiveness. It's not happening. You've ruined all of it.
Yeah, I'm not even sure they're going to let him back in the country. They are building a wall, I heard, so you've got to be...
it's going to be nice and tall, isn't it?
Yeah,
no, it's all right.
Careful, Sean.
He'll show up in his tight shirt at a Starbucks, and they'll be like, oh, you belong here. Come here. Come on in.
Tank top, avocado toast.
I like that. We went full circle. That's really good.
That was lovely.
And I caught that quite nicely, didn't he?
I can't wait to see this, guys. Anders, Jason, enjoy it.
Thank you very much, Alex. We appreciate it. Yes, it's going to be one hell of a game, I think. I mean, Mousesports and NiP.
Nuke